Let's take a look at this one question. Suppose 15% of x equals 20% of y. What percentage of x is y? Now this is a very short question. So what information do we get from this? When we read the question, we look for some keywords such as equals or same or more or less than, or things like twice, things like that. Now this one tells us equals. That means we have an equation, something that are equal to each other. Now what is equal to what? 15% of x equals to 20% of y, right? So that's the information we try to get to translate the problem into a mathematical equation. This 15% of x, this is plain English. How can we translate that into mathematical expressions? Now we know if we say half of something, that's like saying 0.5x, right? When we say 1/3 of something, that's like 1/3 of x. So 15% of x is simply 15% multiplied by x. And 20% of y is simply 20% multiplied by y. Okay, so if you understand English, you can translate that into mathematical expressions. Now we set up this equation. We learn about solving equation. We do unpack, separate, and divide. Now what do we do here? What do we do here? We have two variables. Now let's check. Do we want the answer to be x? Do we want the answer to be y? So they're asking what percentage of x is y. That means ultimately we want y equals to some percentage of x, right? We just want to find out this unknown percentage, but ultimately we want y equals to some part of x. In this case, we are treating the y as the primary variable, okay? We are treating this as a variable, and we are looking for an answer that's in the form of x multiplied by a percentage. So we want the y. We want the y. To go from here to here, we have a 20% times y. We don't want that 20%. We want to take out that 20% so that we just have one pure y here. Therefore, what we can do is to divide by 20%. That will give us just one y, and we do the division at this on the other side. So when we do this 20% and this 20% will cancel out. Therefore, we have y equals to 15% of x divided by 20%. Now we are very close. Now, if only we can do the calculation, then we have y as a percentage of x. Y as a percentage of x. Now let's finish this calculation. You can do it manually, or you can do it with a calculator. This 20%, we can write it as 0.2. 20% is 0.2, 15% is 0.15. Now how can we do 0.15 divide by 0.2? If you divide by 0.2, that's going to be like the same as 0.15 divided by 1/5. That's going to be the same as multiplied by 5. So this will give us 0.75. 0.75. Right, this part will give us 0.75, and we have that x. this equals to y. Right? You remember you can use calculator on this. Now 0.15 divided by 0.2, it's the same as 0.15 times 5. So we have y now equals to 0.75x. Now the last step, we just want to translate this into a percentage. 0.75 is 75%, right? 0.75 is 75%. So therefore y equals to 75% of x. And the percentage here is 75. And that's